Hi, welcome to my channel. Leather Rokk here. Take a look at this makeup I'm wearing. This is another one of these use up your makeup palettes looks. I'm using two different makeup palettes. Again, I'm using my garden area because this is the best light I have. If you want to see how I came up with this makeup, stay tuned. Well, here I am in my garden, and it's the only sunny place I can find to film. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tie my hair up so that I can not have it blow in my face. And through the magic of editing, you already know what the makeup look is I'm going to come up with. But I don't own a time machine, so I'm going to make this up as I go along here. And I am going to be using the B&H Cosmetics Solar Flare palette, but because it doesn't have that pale white color that I need for my brow bone, I'm also going to use the Museum of Ice Cream and Sephora palette, which is called the Dream Team Pigment. Now I'm going to dip into the white color, the matte, the closest thing to a matte white, and I'm going to use the B&H Cosmetics number 7, which is a really good packing brush. It's real good if you want a good opaque coating of your color. And I'm going to try using my screen as a mirror. And just so you know, I know that you can see what I'm doing, but I really can't see what I'm doing. But it's really important for you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. And okay, I don't know that I even saw that. So I'm going to take a look, and I'm going to make sure. I'm going for like about a ½ inch coating of this almost matte white color. It's got a little bit of shimmer in it. If you're not as pale skinned as I am, feel free to find your choice of a color that's close to your flesh tone. And this is so that the other colors you use don't bleed too far into your brow bone. Now, next thing I'm going to do is go back into this palette. This is a really limited use palette as far as I'm concerned, because most of the colors are some shade of gold. So if you only use this palette, it's going to be probably more of a neutral look. Now I'm going to dip into my B&H Cosmetics Studio Pro number 5. It's a big fluffy brush, and I'm going to dip into the one purple shade that's in this palette, and I'm going to get a really good coating on this. Now today I didn't remember, I don't want to get brown into that by mistake. See, I just screwed up. Now I have to use a different brush. Get a brush, and I'm going to dip it into this purple. Last thing you want to do is mix a purple and a brown together. No. Now, I forgot to bring water with me, so I'm not going to be able to intensify this as much as I would like. I'm going to take this big fluffy brush, and I'm going to go straight onto my eyeball. Well, not the eyeball itself, but the eyelid. I already prepped my lids with the e.l.f. eye primer. It only comes in 3 shades, light, medium, and dark. And of course I use the light one. And of course it's still a little dark for me. So if you're really, really pale, you might not want to carry it too far up to the brow bone unless you use another really light color. Now you see what I'm doing? Now you could even stop here if you wanted to, but I'm going to just take this, and so I'm going to get like a kind of a dark smoky eye out of this and sweep it around. Okay, now let's find another brush, another fluffy brush. And now I've got my favorite, the B&H Cosmetics number 17. And I am going to dip into, oh, and these colors, by the way, have names. That purple color that I showed you, that was called Gamma Ray. Well, now there is a slightly pinkish color in this palette called Energy. And I've used this before. Matter of fact, Energy is probably the color I've used more than anything else in this Solar Flare palette. And what I'm going to do is just above the colors that you just saw, I'm going to put this, and this will help to blend it a little bit. Now you're probably going to want to get some more of this Energy color. And again, get it just over top of the very top of that purple color. But then, so it'll blend it a little bit. It'll be a little less harsh. And I'm not wetting any of these shadows. This palette really, it's good to use moisture. It really does make the colors pop. But if they're already dark, you don't need to. See, this blends a little bit. Blends out. What do you think so far? Okay. Now, I brought some eyeliners with me, and I brought a mascara. I'm not going to bother with any kind of cheap colors because if you guys are out in your social distancing and you're wearing masks, it's probably going to be too problematic. That said, I am wearing foundation. I'm wearing a little bit of the foundation I've been wearing. I really like that it doesn't transfer too much on the inside of masks. Now, I'm going to have to wash this. As you can see, there's been some transfer, but I wore this 4 days without washing it. And you're not really supposed to do that, but the only time I really go out, I'm only out for a few minutes and I don't rub elbows with people. So, okay, I'm going to use the same brush in that purple color. And one way you can use a fluffy brush and make it small, hold it between your thumb and your first finger, go back into that purple shade. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go just underneath the lower lash line. If it's smudged a little bit too much in the inner corner, just smudge it with your fingers. I also applied that that primer to my under lash line also, so that when I knew I would do this, it would stand up nice. And if it smudges a little, just smooth it with your finger. Now I've got the mascara I'm using, has a nice fluffy brush, and it is this Skull. It's by Heng Fang from China, and it's called the Max Volume Mascara. And look at this nice big fluffy brush. Even though it's not waterproof, I love that it coats so much of your lashes at one time. You don't need a whole lot of it. Now, I'm not going to bother with the black eyeliner on my top lashes because this smoky eye is already so dark and so smoky. I think actually that a black eyeliner would be superfluous. Plus, I looked for one before I left the house and I couldn't find the one that I would have used for this. So, you're going to get what you're going to get. Again, I am doing another video on the day that I'm actually posting it. And since I still haven't rectified my light situation in my house, I wanted to take advantage of the fact that it's such a beautiful sunny day. I'm imagining that it may be even in the early 70s. I don't know. Comcast still has not turned my cable TV on, so I honestly don't know. Right now though, talk radio is on, and somebody is, I'm sure, listening to the talk radio. So I will get, I'm sure, my weather report as soon as I get back in the house. So as you can see, I'm just doing a little bit of mascara on the above lash line, and when it dries, and I hope it's dried now, put some on the lower lash line. And this time I was smart and I did remember to bring a lip color, so I don't have to use one of these eyeshadows. One great thing to remember if you are wearing a mask, as you probably should be, and you still want to wear a lip color, you can always use a lipstick. Put a little bit of moisturizer on your mouth. I mean, you could always use a powder eyeshadow. But I did bring a lipstick, and it is a Wet n Wild. It's called Fuchsia with Blue Pearl. And yeah, and it's very lovely color, especially if any of you happen to have purple hair. It will go very nicely. I noticed when your upper lip area sweats, then it makes it hard for the lipstick to stick. I want to do this really quickly because even though I'm wearing an SPF 80 sunblock, I am definitely allergic to the sun, and certain parts of my body are getting exposed to the sun that are absolutely not supposed to get exposed. And I have to be very careful about that. Now I'm going to take my hair down. I'm also noticing that there's the usual crackheads and different assorted characters are lining up not too far from here, and I really don't want to attract attention to them. So what do you think? This is a very easy look. Just use 3 colors, and if you have palettes that you're not getting a whole lot of use of, maybe because they're not practical for you. See, one of the things I've been trying to do is use up my palettes. And this is the Solar Flare palette by B&H Cosmetics. And this is the Museum of Ice Cream palette with Sephora. And this is a look you can get from these eyeshadows. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, I'd love to have you subscribe. I make 3 new videos a week, and I'd love to take you along my adventures. Stay safe out there. Love you. Bye.